What up, peeps? I don't know if you can hear my music. I know it's not polite to film videos with music on, but I want to listen to music, so I guess we're just gonna be jamming together. You can see my stuffed animals in the background. That's Bugs Bunny and my puppet, Rocky. So today, what I just wanted to talk about was, and this is just me, my eyebrow is so weird. This is just a me talking video. If you're wondering why I got this hat on, it's because my hair is very uncooperative today, so I just put a hat on it. It's like, screw you, hair. I'm gonna put a hat on. Yeah, so, excuse my ghetto lighting. So basically, just what I wanted to talk about. Cockeyed. One of my eyes always looks smaller than. Oh, I got this video. Anyway, what I just wanted to talk about today is I was watching a lot of YouTube videos today, like I do every day, and I started noticing that I watch a lot of beauty gurus or whatever, and I noticed that a lot of them will do tutorials on looks, how you can get this look and what products I used, and this is where I put my brow bone highlight, and this is where I put my crease, and this is where I put my eyelid shadow and all these other things. But what a lot of, or at least the ones that I watch, what they don't talk about is what works for your face. Like, everybody has a different shaped face. So some of you might have faces that are more cut, like if you're like blessed from the heavens above, you have very defined cheekbones. You have a defined face, you have a cut face, and it'll kind of go like, meet at this point right here, like it's just kind of pointy at the bottom, not in a bad way or anything, but just, you have like a really nice face. And then some people like me will have like a wider face or bigger face. Like, I feel like this part of my face where my cheekbones and everything are is just kind of like really big. And I have like this huge chin. So yeah, I just kind of feel like people don't really talk about that. Like, you'll watch a lot of videos and you see girls say, this is where you put your contour, this is where you put your bronzer, this is where you put your highlight, and all these places, but they don't talk about how you find those places on your face, because for some people it can be really hard. So like, most people will say, just suck your cheeks in like this, and that's where the hollow of your cheek is. And that is correct. That's not wrong. It's clearly correct. The thing is that for some people that doesn't always work. What I've found the easiest way for me to contour my face properly was to find exactly where my cheekbone is. So instead of doing this and being like, oh, here's my cheekbone, like I've done that obviously, and that didn't work for me. That's not what works for me. So what I did do was just research, read, look up things, try to figure out what is the correct way to contour. And what I found is that a lot of professional makeup artists and a lot of people who do makeup, who are a little more educated and might have a different way of looking at things, I guess that would be the right way to say it. Oh, stupid eyebrow. Whatever. Anyway, so if you find that way of looking at things isn't right for you, like if you're doing this, your contour shouldn't be coming like all the way down to your mouth. I mean, that might work for you, but honestly for me, when I see, not a lot of people can pull that off. So if you see a lot of girls like that, you might be like, oh, she has like that big black streak across her face and it goes like all the way down. Like, that might be what you were taught, but it might not necessarily work for your face. So you need to learn your face shape before you can contour your face, because the same contouring techniques don't always work for everybody, if that makes sense. So the way that I learned to contour my face is because I tried doing it by sucking in my cheeks and being like, oh, and then I would be contouring way too low. So I'd be like all the way down here and be doing that, and that's not where my contour is. Like, I have a small face, like it's wide, but it's small. I don't know how to explain that. Anyway, what I found worked for me is that everyone always says find your cheekbone. And when I researched and looked up, how do you find your cheekbone? What does that even mean? A lot of professional makeup artists will do this. So they'll start here. This is where you can feel on your face your cheekbone's like right here. And they just go like this. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this where my, I'm trying to like show you guys, it's so hard. This is where my cheekbone is. Okay, so you can see my cheekbone is up here, and I'm busy contouring all the way down here. And look at that big gap. So now I have this big giant like spans of dark contour color on the majority of my cheek, and that didn't work for me. So if I know my cheekbone is up here, I want to contour right under it, which would be here. So this is how I contour my face now, and you can see it goes really dark, and you can start it at your hairline if you choose to go that far back. That's where I choose to go because I find that's what works for me. And I just did it a little darker today. I don't usually do it this dark, just so that you guys can see. So my cheekbone's here. This is where my cheekbone is. And then this is where my contour is. So it's right under my cheekbone. And maybe even a little bit on it, but that's just because that's what works for my face shape. So that's why I do it that way. So my contour is now right here. And you can see when I suck my cheeks in, where I would be contouring normally would be from here and down, like, because it would be blended out. I don't know if that makes sense, but so yeah, so you need to learn your face shape before you start contouring your face and highlighting and everything like that. Because if you don't know your face shape and you're just watching girls on YouTube or whatever, and they're doing what works for their face, and then you try and you can say, well, it doesn't look as good as when they did it, it's because they contoured for their face shape, and your face shape might not necessarily be the same as theirs, so that contouring technique doesn't work for you. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing is that a lot of people, not here on YouTube, just friends of mine and everything, people have asked me what's the right thing to contour your nose with, because the brush you use to contour your cheek, this is obviously a bigger area of your face, so you use a bigger brush sometimes. And when you use that brush on the sides of your nose, it gets super messy. I didn't contour my nose today, so it might look a little bigger than usual. It would usually be like smaller. Anyway, I tend to use brushes like these. I don't know if you can see that. It's like really, really, there's a lot of hairs in it, and it's really, really thick. So you can see, like, it's dense. It's just a dense brush, and it's just like I don't know what to call it. It's like a shadow blending whatevs brush. Yeah, so it's just really, really dense, and all that happens is I just take it from the hollow of my eye right here, or you can even take it a little higher right here, and I just go down the side of my nose super lightly. And the thing about it is, especially for girls like me or girls of color, if you have, like, maybe your nostrils are a little more wide set than most girls, like most girls you'll see, like, this looks disgusting. I have like this. Anyway, most girls have more wide set noses, so what you want to do when you're contouring is making sure that the whole purpose of contouring is to, my nose is so red. The whole purpose of contouring is to make sure that your nose looks skinnier. You don't want to make it look wider. You don't want to emphasize your nostrils. You want to make it look skinnier. You're bringing attention to the skinniest of your nose, not like your nostrils. You don't want to make your nostrils look bigger than they are. So when you're contouring, you want to start somewhere up here, like in the hollow of your eye or something. and you want to go down like this. So you're going, and again, do this, get a brush like this, some kind of brush like this, and before you even dip it into whatever contour powder you use, do the outline of your nose first and see where see where it goes in, like right here. This is what you want to be most worried about. You want to go in right here. So find that place on your nose and just kind of, you know, learn where it is. And then when you start contouring, you'll see it gets a little, it looks better. Once you learn the shape of your nose and the shape of your face, contouring is a lot easier to do. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was filling in your eyebrows. A lot of the people I've watched on YouTube have, which is for the majority of people, have like sparse eyebrows. So they take a lot more time and care into filling their eyebrows in. My eyebrows are not super like thick and luxurious and whatever, but they're not sparse either. So for me, filling them in is a little bit different. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is it's hard to, you need to learn where your eyebrow should start and where it should end. If you have thicker eyebrows like me, you kind of already have an outline. Not thicker, but you have more of a shape to your brow like I do. You kind of already know where your eyebrow should start and end. And what you're mostly focused on is just kind of filling it in the sparse areas where it needs to be a little darker, if there's not enough hair there, whatever. But when you are, like, let's say you have less hair in the front of your eyebrow, if you are trying to figure out where your eyebrow should start and end, there are two ways to do it. I'm trying to remember the second way, but it's still new to me, but it does work. So I can't really remember right now, but basically the first way, which everyone knows, and if you don't know, then it's good that you're watching this because you'll find out. The first way to find out where your eyebrow starts is going like this. So you can take a brush and go like this on the side of your nose, and you can see right there is pretty much where my eyebrow starts. When you take a brush and do this, this is where your eyebrow should be beginning. And then if you just move the brush, this brush isn't skinny enough, so it's kind of hard to show you, but anyway, the middle of your iris, like the brush should be in the middle of your iris, right? You look straight ahead, the brush is in the middle of your iris, and the top of the brush will be where your arch should be, and then the end of your eye and where the top of the brush is should be the tail of your eyebrow, so you can kind of see that's where they meet. So tail, arch, and the front of your eyebrow. And you need to learn your eye shape. If you have sparser eyebrows, you need to learn your eye shape. If you learn your eye shape, then you can create, if you have sparser eyebrows and you have to spend more time creating a shape for your brows, then if you know your eye shape, you can create a brow shape that works for it, complements your eye. Because let's say you have I have pretty small eyes, so I know that if I took the tail of my brow way too far down, it would tend to close my eye up. So if my tail was somewhere down here, and really the way I filled it in today, it is kind of low, but I was just in a rush, so I didn't pay attention. It really should be ending somewhere up here. So like if it was ending somewhere here, my eye looks a lot wider. But if it's ending down here, where it is right now, you can see my eye looks a little bit smaller. So if you want your eyes to appear bigger, you should pay attention, like on this side, not really, but you should pay attention to where the end of your eyebrow is, because that can either close your eyes or open them up. So if the tails of your eyebrows are a little bit, I'm not saying shave your eyebrows off to like up here and then fill them in, but work with what you have. And if they are farther away from your eye seems more open. If they're close to your eye seems more closed. So keep that in mind when you are filling in your eyebrows. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh, under eye concealing. Everybody wants to be Kim Kardashian. Everybody wants to have those bright, super bright under eye, you know, that triangle of light effect. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that look flatters a lot of people, but some people can take it too far. And if I can find this picture, I'm going to try and find it right now to show you guys. So sorry for the delay. And I'm not bashing this person because, like, you know, I like her. I think she's a cool person. But some looks, some makeup looks that she's done, I don't think girls should necessarily follow. Firstly, and secondly, I don't really think I'm sorry, I'm looking at my iPad because I'm trying to find a picture to show you guys. I don't think they work for everyone, and I think you have to, like, I think this is a perfect example of when under eye concealing can be taken too far and done wrong. And this is just my opinion. Like, you might not agree with it, but for me, it just, I don't know, it's just not right. And she's a really pretty girl, and I think for the most part, she does her makeup beautifully most of the time. But sometimes she's just, like, overdoes it. Where the hell is the picture? Well, first let's talk about the eyebrow thing again. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Black China, like, her hair and everything, you know. She's great. I love her. Pretty girl. I don't know if you guys can see that. Her eyebrows are way too close together, okay? You don't want to do this. You know, she looks gorgeous and everything, but a lot of girls will try to emulate this eyebrow, and they don't have the face shape for it. And they try to do it anyway, and on her, you know, it kind of works, whatever. That's how she does her thing. Don't try and emulate it if you don't have the same face shape. The same eyebrow shape does not work for everybody. You have to be careful with that. Let me find the other picture if I can find it. Because she was really... There it is. This is when under eye concealer goes wrong. So if you guys can see there in this picture, under her eyes, almost all the way down to her cheeks, is white. It looks like she's wearing a mask. It doesn't look good. It's just kind of... it looks bad. And I'm not bashing her. Everybody makes mistakes. God knows, you know, when I first started doing makeup or whatever on myself, I didn't really know what I was doing. And I'm still learning how to do stuff. I'm not saying it like I know how to do everything, but I'm just saying, like, if you guys can avoid making these many mistakes, then avoid them, you know? So that looked pretty, that's extreme. And I think the key to doing under eye concealer is you want to brighten under your eyes. You don't want to lighten the skin under your eyes. You don't want to make the skin tone under your eyes lighter than the rest of your face. So I think the best thing to do in this case would be to, if you're really into that triangle of light effect and that having really bright under eyes, look into getting a color corrector. Corrector. Not concealer, corrector. Bobbi Brown makes really, really nice ones. If you're a darker skin tone, I would look into them, just because what correctors do is hide the bags under your eyes, but they also brighten, not lighten, brighten. You want to brighten your skin tone. You don't want to lighten the skin tone under your eyes because it just looks like it doesn't match your face. It's not blended properly. And on people of color can tend to look a little messy. So you want to brighten under your eyes, not lighten them. You're not trying to lighten your skin. We're not Vibes Cartel. We're not trying to bleach our skin here. We're just trying to look awake. We're trying to get that Kim Kardashian glow going on. I get it. Is there anything else I wanted to say?
Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Maybe I'll upload another video soon. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll see you guys
later. Bye. Me and Rocky are gonna be out. Stay positive, peeps. Don't let the bullshit get you down, and we'll peace. See you later. Bye.